Hello friends, if you are a beginner or a player who is under 1000 rated, then this video is for you. And if you play London system with the white pieces, then this is a must video. Because in this video I will show you how white can brutally punish black's England Gambit. I mean d4 e5 line. So game starts with the d4 and black will play e5. Now this is England Gambit and white should accept this pawn. Black will attack with the knight on this pawn. White has to defend it. Now black will attack with the queen, defend it with the bishop. So this is typical London system. So if you are a London system player, then this is a must video. Now what black can do? Black can bring his queen to b4, giving a check, attacking on two pieces at the same time, bishop and the pawn on b2. So the best move here is to defend this bishop and block the check. So bring the bishop back and this is the best move, right? And queen can take the b2 pawn. Now this rook is hanging, right? So we have to defend this rook. Rook can be defended by the queen. We have to move the knight. So move the knight ahead. I mean not here because it's undefended. Here it's defended by the bishop, right? So in this case, what black will do? Black will pin. I mean black will bring one more attacker to this knight, like the bishop. So in this video, we will discuss this line, the bishop line, bishop on b4, right? So best move for white here is to attack the queen. Queen is a larger piece, attack with the rook. Now here two option, queen can go here, or in some of the variations, black might try to exchange with the knight, right? I mean queen for two pieces. So what black do? Let's first go for this line. If you go for the exchange, then after this, right, after this move, black has sacrificed his queen for two minor pieces and a pawn, right? Now here continuation would be like white will try to attack this, bishop will go back. I mean exchange is bad for black, right? And then at this position you can see this pawn can move up, this bishop can come out, this king can castle and be safe, and white has a queen, which is the huge advantage. This rook can come up here and attack on both the pieces. So there is a huge attacking chances and it's already +5 for white. So this is better for white, right? Let's move to the same position, but the best move here to protect the queen, obviously. Then the white, I mean the best move for white is bringing the rook up. I mean this rook can move here and attack one more time the queen. Then queen will go here, and I don't like this position of the queen because now queen can have all these files, right? All this diagonal and this safe squares, right? And this pawn can also be defended. So I don't want queen, black queen, to go out and play. My idea, I mean the white idea, is to keep this queen on the corner side of the board and do not take it part into the game, right? Make it a piece, I mean a useless piece. So the best move, I mean the move that I recommend is knight to d5. I mean this is a great move because this is attacking the bishop and attacking the pawn on c7, creating a fork. Did you see the fork? This fork is so amazing, right? So here black can do two things, either go for exchange of the bishop or he can bring the bishop back and protect this pawn. Let's discuss one by one both the moves. Let's first go, he goes for the exchange, queen takes it. Now this queen takes this free pawn, rook has to move, rook moved, and now white is threatening this fork. So black most probably move the queen here, right? Because the rook move doesn't make any sense because queen can easily get the check. I mean king can get the check and lose the pawn. So king move. Now here comes e4, defending the knight. Now from here, black has two types of move. I mean black can go for the development of knight, this knight, or black can go for development of this knight this way, right? Let's suppose he go for this way, the e7, right? And you can see this is like exchange, this is offering an exchange. White should not take this. Instead of this, white should focus on the development of bishop got developed. Now here black can do two things. Either black can go to the g6 with this knight, or black can exchange on d5, right? Let's suppose he go for the g6, then that's not a good move for black, because after this white can bring the knight to g6, creating a fork here and this piece, right? You can see the trauma. So and this king can't move here because of this fork, right? So there is a double fork threat. So most probably rook will move, and if the rook move, then this pawn is hanging and it can be taken, right? Now at this point, what black can play? Suppose if black plays something like this move, then that's a game over. I mean, that's already game over because of this check, right? So this queen is very powerful. White has this queen which is very powerful. Black must play the best move, and the best move is going for the exchange of this queen to avoid the checkmate. So this move is the best. Queen to a5, offering a exchange and pinning. So white has to take it. He will take with the knight, and then white can take the rook, black take the knight. So this is it, and it's already plus 6.6 for white. White is plus 2 a bishop. I mean, it's just plus 2 in piece contact, but it's already plus 7, right? And white is developed and ready for the castle. So this is good for white in some of the variation, like in g6 move. But what if he doesn't, I mean, he can go for the g6 move, but what if he go for the moves like takes d5? Suppose if he takes, then you should take with the e pawn, obviously. Then knight has to move. Let's knight move here. Then you should just push, I mean, d6 simply. Then c takes, then d takes. This is again attacking the I mean, knight, right? And knight has to move. Let's suppose knight goes back, knight to c6, and you can see the engine, it's already plus 11, plus 12 for white, right? So what is the next move for, I mean, what is the continuation for white here? White can give a check. I mean, from g5 it can give a check, then f6 blocking the check, and then this pawn is hanging. So I mean, simply white can take this pawn, right? And the rook is hanging, so rook has to move to e8, simply pinning the knight here, right? And defending the rook. Now white can take this with a check, right? So white can take f6 with a check. Now knight has to move. If knight move, then this is, you can see it's already plus 15 for white, and white will lose the knight here simply. So and if you are pretty well, then you can bring all the pieces like knight here, then knight can come over here, and this is a checkmate, right? So this is, I mean, you can also win the queen. So this is better for white here in this line, right? But what if black decide to go for knight to, I mean, h6 idea, right? This is also more possible. Let's suppose he go for the h6, then it's a blunder. You can see then it's a blunder because now white has this check, which is awesome check. I mean the check, and it's actually a checkmate trap, right? Because now f6 will play, and then you take with the pawn, and here black shouldn't take this with the pawn, because if you take with the pawn, that's a mate in 2. Understand, it's a mate in 2. It's a take. He has to move. I mean, if he block, then it's already a mate. So if he move, then no, not from here. Do not play this because knight can take, right? The best move is here, and it's a checkmate. You can see this is a checkmate, right? So taking the this pawn is bad, right? So what should he do? I mean, one of the move, I mean, one of the suggestion move is this queen can take it. This is also good, right? If this queen takes the c2 pawn, then it's also a mate in 2. because now um, a white can push this pawn and this is blocked. I mean, now the only move is knight, and if knight move here, that's a checkmate, right? So we have seen the c2 move is, I mean, queen takes c2 is not a good move. But what if a check on a5 from a5? Check can easily be blocked with this pawn, I mean c3, right? Then g has to take. I mean, if g can't take, then g takes f6, and it's a mate in 5. Queen has to take. I mean, it's already a dead position. It's a checkmate position for black. Totally collapsed position, right? So how it's a mate in 4 here? If you want to know, then I mean king will move to e8. Then king will give a check from the h8, taking the check, and from the h8, king has to move f7, the only square. Then knight will join from here. This is very important. Knight joining from here, and all the squares are covered. You can see by queen. This is by knight. This is by knight. The only square is this. So king will move to the only square, and that's a mate, right? It's a mate. So this is all for ideas in bishop takes d2, right? But what if bishop doesn't take d2? I mean, bishop can move back, na? This is also a good move, right? Now here, I recommend you to play rook, uplift the rook, right? Move rook to b5, attacking the bishop. You know what is the great advantage of this bishop? If you're going to trade this bishop, he will take with the queen and then defend the this pawn, right? But we don't want this. That's why we play rook. This means if we take this, um, queen will not take this, because if queen takes this, then we will easily grab the queen and we will look queen up. Knight will take, and then this pawn is hanging and there is a fork, right? Idea is simple. That's why we play rook. Now here the best move for black is to just go for the exchange. And if you go for the exchange, then I mean the best move is just queen takes. That's also a best move, right? That's the best move. But one of the move, I mean, in many variations, the most commonly people play moves like a6, b6. These are the moves. I mean, these kinds of move people will play, or someone also take the pawn. That's also a move. Like if someone takes the a2 pawn, then that's a huge blunder. I mean, it's +8 already. You can see it's a blunder, because now bishop can take the a5, knight has to take it, and then this is a fork incoming. King has to move, and then rook down, right? And if you play b6 such move, then this is easily, if he can easily come over here, this knight can join, right? This is a total catastrophic moment, right? I mean, it's already +8. What can I say, right? So the queen takes a2 is a blunder. What if a6? That's also a move, right? Let's black play a6. That's also a blunder, because now rook can sacrifice and queen can't take it. I mean, knight has to take. If knight takes it, then there is a fork. He will move to d8, then lose the rook, right? Then if you play b5, moves like b5, right? Because he can't play, then this pawn will be hanging. If you play b5, then knight can go to b6, and knight can go for the exchange of this, or can easily come back, right? It is saved. It is a win-win for, I mean, um, white, right? +9.5, +10 already. So this is also not a good move. a6 is a bad idea. Queen takes a2 also a bad idea. What if b6? Let's try this. b6. B6, you can see the engine, it's +7 already. I mean, it's also a blunder. But how it's a blunder? How can we know? Because now this is not protected, and you can give a fork. I mean, that's a check. He will move to d8, and you can easily grab this rook. That is a free rook. Now this bishop go for the attack. Now grab the single pawn. I mean, that's a pawn. Now bishop takes it is with the bishop. Now e3, because rook is now protected. Bishop is open. This bishop is also open. and we have a queen, we have a rook, we have a double rook. It's already plus 4, I mean plus 7 for white, so white is winning here. So b6 is also not a good move, I mean it's a blunder, right? The last move that you can consider that black can play is knight to e7. That's also a possibility. Let's suppose he play, that's also a blunder, because now this pawn is hanging, I mean the fork is clear. Now white can easily sacrifice the rook. Queen can't take it, they have to take with the knight. If knight take it, then there is a fork, king has to move, and then a8 is gone, right? And if you play something like b6, then simply knight can go for the moves like g5, creating another, I mean preparing for another fork, right? So that's too simple, I mean this king has to move, and if a king move, then this can easily jump over here and then come back, right? So this is all winning for white, plus 8 already. Then what is the best move for black here? I mean just take, exchange is the best move. So black takes it, queen has to take, I mean queen takes it already, and then this fork is threatened, so black will play king to d8 to prevent this. Now play e4, defend this and open the bishop, right? Now here, I mean simply you can see black can grab this pawn, and if you go for that, then that's a mistake actually, and it's plus 5 for white. And you want to know why? Because now mm, white queen can go to c3. Previously he can't go to c3 because of the queen, right? But now he can go, and he prevents all the checks. You can see it prevents all the checks from the black queen, right? But why here? Look at this diagonal, so juicy diagonal, right? And this queen makes black's queen impowerful. I mean black queen is of no power, has no power, right? It's like stuck. Now what black can play here? I mean black will think to develop the knight, that's the obvious move, knight. And then black can, I mean white can develop the bishop to c3, attacking the bishop, so bishop has to move. Bishop, the only square is a4, right? That's the only square that's left. Here is a check, I mean, right? Now what white can do? White can simply castle, right? And then if black supposed to take, because the knights is so powerful, black decided to take with the pawn. This knight has to move. Suppose this knight move there, then this push, and if we take, let's see, if we take, that's a blunder. Now it's plus 12 for white, I mean white is completely winning, right? Now if this knight goes back to c3, that's a huge blunder. Now it's mate in 5. How it's a mate in 5? Because now queen can go to g7, takes, rook is hanging. If rook move to e8, then this rook come over here, I mean simply rook e5, right? And then if knight takes, I mean if knight takes e5, right, then queen can give a check. This rook is the only move, then that's a mate. It's a mate in 21 moves. So you can see white can easily trap black in England Gambit if the move something like a move that I showed you, bishop to b4, queen to b4, and then bishop to b4, this line. You must know what is the plan on this line, right? The plan is bring the rook here, uh, queen will move the knight here, creating a double fork, I mean double attack. And if bishop go back, then what is the idea? If bishop go back, move the rook up, right? Then attack. And if doesn't go back, and if he takes it, then this fork is, I mean, unstoppable. And if that doesn't fork, then move your knight here, and then this fork is unstoppable, right? So there are many attacking ideas here. You can see, right? So this is how white can crush. I mean, white can brutally punish black's England gambit. And if you are a player under 1000 rated, and you might play London system often with the white pieces, then this is a must know tactic, must know trick. I hope you learn something new from this video. Thank you.